you told Jerry West that in order for him to sign with the Clippers.
Listen to me, James. If they don't get Paul George, Kawhi goes back to Toronto for 1 year, and then the next year he's back on the market. Going back to Toronto because after Irv quit, like I told you, the Lakers were kind of like out of the picture. He wasn't fooling with Pelinka. He's an agent, and so it's like.
Hey, Laker fans, do you hear that? You guys were out of the running for Kawhi as soon as Magic Johnson was out the picture. Rob Pelinka, in a way, outside of that Lakers building, he does not have a lot of trust. Even Magic Johnson, when he quickly resigned as the team president, he kept on throwing a lot of hints that Rob Pelinka has something to do with it.
Eventually, the Clippers ended up getting Paul George.
That's the only way it was going to get Kawhi.
And you told them that was the only way they were going to get Kawhi. And it seems like
he related to Jim Gray, and Jim Gray related to Jerry West, his best friend.
Okay, so Jerry West now knows in order for Kawhi to sign with the Clippers,
correct, they're gonna have to sign Paul George. That's why OKC asked for so much. And but let me just say this, James. When I talked to Dennis, I told him there's one kid you shouldn't give up, and that's Shane. The kid for OKC now, Shane Gilgeous-Alexander. Yes, I've watched him through his career at Kentucky, and I knew he was going to be special. I told Dennis to try to keep him in the whole deal, do not give him up, but OKC wasn't too. That's the first person they asked for. They gave up so much for Paul George, which I wouldn't have did.
Right.
That was stupid.
Tell me about Jerry West. It's going to intensify. Jerry West is talking to you now. Talking to you even more so now.
Talking, texting, and they're leaving voice messages.
Hey, tell Kawhi, let's go and win these next 7 or 6 championships in the next 10 years. With the Lakers, him, LeBron, and AD. Man, that's 6 or 7 championships in the next 10 years. He'll have his statue right out in front of the Staples Center, man, and he'll probably be a billionaire. And that's what I'm predicting. With the Lakers, it'll be amazing. All right, bye.
Look at Magic Johnson throwing some fucking sauce on that. He'll be a billionaire. Magic, if you believe that, why the fuck did you resign so quickly? Riddle me that. But now we're going to hear a second voicemail from Jerry West, as he himself confirms back in 2019 he believed Kawhi was much better than LeBron.
Hey there, excuse me, this is Jerry calling. I really want to thank you a lot for, trying to help. I heard this morning that everyone over in the Lakers camp thinks they're going to get him. I find that hard to believe that he would want to go to that shit show where he would not even wouldn't even get his name in the paper, and he wouldn't be the face of the franchise, that's for sure. He might be the best player on the team, but hope things are well, and again, I really, really appreciate everything you've done. I'll keep you apprised of what goes on, but I do want to get together with you privately and love to take you to the dinner and even Sam, if he's around, so I can at least pay my respects to you guys for being so generous and helpful. Take care. Talk to you sometime soon. Bye-bye.
Jerry West is not lying about the Lakers behind the scenes being a shit show. And at the same time, if Kawhi Leonard ended up going there, he would be the best player, but not the face of the franchise. That wasn't the deal that the Lakers had with LeBron James. As we play Monday Morning Quarterback with Jeannie Buss displaying some of her frustrations in that article with LeBron's power hold within the NBA media. We as the NBA audience after the sale of the Lakers found out there's a lot of moving parts behind the scenes fighting for position. You got the Jeannie Buss and Kirk Rambis faction. Then you got the LeBron James clutch faction, as well as the multiple siblings jockeying for their position. And of course, I'm about to forget, you got Luka in there. He's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
That he's thanking me and Sam for everything that we have done, but he's hearing that he's going to sign with the other side. So my text message back to Jerry at that time was, But whatever you hearing, Jerry, is between you and Toronto when you guys go meet with Dennis Kim and, you know, Kawhi at Doc's house, you know, to sell life after basketball and all those type of things. Yes, I want to be compensated because I have my own business, and here I am. I'm flying here, flying there, and I'm paying all this out of my pocket. And then sometimes I went through a sponsor, but I'm paying this out of my own pocket. So I'm flying to San Antonio. We help Kim move.
Now, for those of you watching the visual version, he's providing a lot of receipts through the iMessage. It's dated. Everything is sort of in a perfect alignment. You got the family photos showing that there was a connection for years through multiple family members. You got flight bookings, the voicemails, the text messages. I'm not going to lie, I was kind of shocked when I seen everything sort of added up, even though the NBA media all across the board have painted Johnny Wilkes as uncredible.
And it's just other different things like that. So, yes, I want to be compensated.
So, okay,
he's the best player in the world.
Had you informed Jerry West that you wanted to be compensated?
Yes, West knew I wanted to be compensated.
And how was West going to compensate?
It was through 501.
No, but how much did you ask for? Let me ask that.
$2.5 million. And that was cheap for Kawhi Leonard. I should have asked for $10 million.
Now, as we continue through this segment, we're going to learn that behind the scenes, someone informed Johnny Wilkes of how he came up with that $10 million number just right now. It looks like it is an industry standard for some of these guys to get kind of brokered to entering into some of these franchises. We are in the informational age and the era of receipts. So us fans for the first time are getting a lot of details and just seeing some of the inner nuances that makes this whole NBA machine go. So fuck the 5-year, $200 million contract. There's also tens of millions of dollars being exchanged off that contract.
And that was cheap for Kawhi Leonard. I should have asked for $10 million.
So in closing, what would you want? What in closing, tell me what you really feel.
I want to be compensated for what I did. You know, listen to me. Dennis, he didn't have to worry about LA. I had the Lakers locked up, the Clippers locked up, and it was just a matter of which one he was going to go to. But after Irv quit, we already knew where he was definitely going to go. You know, either they didn't make the trade for Paul George, he's going back to Toronto. If they make the trade, he's a Clipper. The Lakers, after Irv quit,
they were done.
You hear that, Laker fans? Magic Johnson was your last line into getting Kawhi that summer. In the eyes of Kawhi's camp, there was no one really trustworthy of him even being there. As Johnny Wilkes has stated earlier, the feelings on Rob Pelinka is, I'm not sure about him.
Now, what are your thoughts about Jerry West?
I respect Mr. West. Mr. West, I don't know if it came down to what Dennis, you know, because when Sam gave me the conversation, when he called me and had the conversation, that Dennis told them to not pay.
Who is them? The Clipper organization? Lawrence Frank?
He was part of the meeting. I'm sure he was part of the meeting. All of them, you know, because here's another thing. After that little episode at the Ritz-Carlton, when Kawhi asked me what happened to meeting with Al Heyman, we had went over to the Clippers facility, and when we got to the Clippers facility, Kawhi was sitting in the back. And this is exact words he said to Dennis: "I'm gonna fire your ass just so I got fired the rest of them motherfuckers." So Dennis say, "You can't fire me. I got you the best deal with the Clippers." And I look at Dennis like, well, you left $100 million on the table. You didn't even let Al Heyman go in and talk for the million. And for Kawhi to be asking me at the hotel, what happened with this meeting with Al Heyman, and I look at you, and then you go to my Fed case. That says a lot right there.
So your thoughts on Jerry West? What are your thoughts on Jerry West?
Mr. West, you know, he the things he said about Jeannie Buss, I didn't like. But everything else, he was trying to sell me everything positive on Kawhi. And he was all aboard, you know, until Dennis said, "Don't pay me." And then the whole thing kind of changed up, and I had to go through, you know, filing a lawsuit and doing all of this. And still to this day, sitting here, what is this, 4 or 5 years later, I'm still here talking about it. And Mr. West has passed away, and there's some things that happened when, you know, we were still going to Mr. West, serving them papers with different things. And and he passed away. You know, I really don't have nothing bad to say about Jerry. I'm just like, you know, it's off because Dennis.
But let's just be honest here. Jerry was not a man of his word. Let's be honest with you.
That's correct.
Yeah,
that's
Jerry
correct.
was not a man of his word.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, even though, you know, of course we don't know him personally, but when it comes to business, if that shit is not on a piece of paper, there's no written agreement that you could present to a judge, that shit is not real. It doesn't exist. It's fairy tale. Fuck giving your word. Once you have a document, it's notarized, there's an agreement, that's evidence you could present to a judge. And in this case, it looks like Johnny Wilkes, he got finessed. They threw a bunch of smoke screens at him. Maybe Uncle Dennis is the one that intervened and made sure that he got paid, and Wilkes was asked out. It is what it is.
Correct.
The deal was made with Jerry West.
Correct. Yeah.
And Jerry West should have paid you. Let's just be honest here. Jerry West should have paid, despite what the Clippers were talking about, because you weren't talking to Lawrence Frank when this deal was.
I've never talked to. Only time I talked to Lawrence Frank. This is one time I talked to Lawrence Frank. So him and Dennis come out of the facility. So Dennis got some Clipper shirts in his hand, and you know, Dennis handed me the shirts and telling me this is thanks to Clippers. Thank you for getting me for signing for
Some T-shirts.
I still got them shirts. I want to burn them motherfuckers. I have no qualms with Steve Ballmer.
And why is that?
Mr. Ballmer paid Mr. West. And Mr. West, I'm sure he distributed his portion of money to Jim Gray and Sam Watson. And I was the low man on the podium, which I was really the man. And they never paid me because they thought I was just a nobody, that I wouldn't fight it, that I wouldn't, do anything. Just the night that I filed, I had so many phone calls I had from my pastor at my church, Sam Watson called me. Everybody was calling me, asking me to drop the lawsuit. It was my pastor even called me, talking about Sam wanted to talk to me. He got money. I don't want no money. I want the money that Mr. West owed me. I did this deal.
Hey, it is what it is. It sounds like a whole story of fuckery, I'm not gonna lie. But at the end of the day, there is a whole economy of these guys choosing what teams to go to. As I do believe the part with Jim Gray letting him know that he could have got way more money than the 2.5 he was asking for. And that's the beautiful thing about today's media landscape. Johnny Wilkes is able to get his side of the story out, even though throughout the mainstream part of the NBA media, they have labeled him and just branded him as an uncredible source, a guy that's a hangaround. But with all the evidence he has provided, he's known Kawhi's family for years, multiple family members, including his mother. So it is what it is. I'm sure more details will eventually come out on this whole Kawhi Leonard and how he got to LA. This shit is multi-layered, and it's revealing a lot of the inner nuances that are going on behind the curtain, behind the scenes of this whole machine we like to call NBA free agency.